Oh, wow, I'm actually live. All right. I forgot I had clicked go live. In that case, let's get this transition and adjust my camera. All right, much better. Do. Hello, Live the Game. I'm doing well, thanks. And thanks for the follow. All right, let's do Diverse World. We'll do 3 minutes like normal. This feels a little like South Africa. Dirt road, red dirt. There's not much in the way of landscape, so it's pretty flat. Beware not for sale. Why would I need to beware that it's not for sale? Watch on YouTube lots, help me get through some of the madness, so thank you. Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for mentioning that. I appreciate when I've been useful, that people appreciate it. Beware this house is not for sale. Well, I got a minute and a half left. And I'm going to drop somewhere between Lesotho and Eswatini for now. I mean, we may very well be significantly north of that. Like I could see this being kind of I could see this being Kenya. Been binge watching your debates on modern day debates. Cool. I hope you found something useful there. Yeah, this is all like not for sale, and I can't get out. Hey, Dargendorp. So it's only because of the red dirt and the dirt road that I'm somewhere between like Lesotho and Eswatini. But this could be Kenya, except that I would expect to see a mountain somewhere, and I don't. So this feels more like the trees make me think it's closer to Kenya. Happy St. Patty's Day. That's not today. St. Patty's Day was over. All right, I was way off. It was Nigeria. But I was right in thinking that it was probably north of where we were. Yep, you're a day too late. Hello, Quezatron. Got to read the walls and the trucks. Yeah, and Julie. And DB742. Wow. Tracy Harris blocked me on Facebook. I don't know, don't care, don't even want to read it. I don't know why you're telling me this when you told me on Facebook. Telling other people. Well, let's tell them somewhere other than here because that stirs up shit that I don't ever need to fucking deal with. But thanks. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's attacked the organization and me and my girlfriend. So why are we stirring up shit? I'm just here to ask some questions for a bit. Hey, Matt. Glad to catch you here. No problem, Skeptical X. Yeah. No clue. Okay, we're Malaysia. Somewhere. Rural Transport Project. Town. I don't know if I'm going to find this. If I remember right, that's all mainland. So 17 seconds. I don't know how far I am now, but we'll find out. There's the guess. Nope. I was wrong. Once again, we're in Borneo. Yep, there it is, Kuala Tatao. Which actually is the name of the whole fucking road there. I'm terrible at this. Hope you're feeling okay after the op. I'm doing all right. My main scar on my chest, there's a spot. I mean, it's been mostly healed up, but there was just like the very lightest of a scab, and I think it got knocked off. And so it, it was a little bleedy for a short period of time, but nothing major. I've got 2 doctor's appointments next week. One with the cardiologist on Monday, and then one with my regular doctor on Friday. Got green license plates, not EU. This is Japan, Korea. It looks like South Korea to me, but I could be wrong. Now, just for starters, we'll just drop somewhere and then see what we can find. to give us a sign. Need some ace of base up in here. I saw the sign. Found out just where we were. I saw the sign. Kim Young, row 19 kill. Jimmy Young. Oh, wow. I was probably not going to find that, but there it is. Jimmy Young. I've never been on that little island before, even in the game that I know of. Let's check the Ukraine map. That's not quite how the game works, but maybe we'll end up there. Good afternoon, Matt. How you doing, brother? I'm doing fine. Digging the beard. It's good luck. Thank you. I didn't have much choice. I got all scruffy, and Arden said, you should keep it. And if she tells me she likes it, and I don't have a preference, I'm keeping it. But, yeah, I kind of like it. Hey, Matt, how you been? Cheesy66. I've been all right. Yeah, it's good. Looks good. Thank you. Trapsa. Is this Jordan? Tunisian Indian fertilizer. So we're in Tunisia near Trapsa. There's Tatooine. Depot, Lascira, and 6 miles from Trapsa. Oh, I'm probably not going to find this. All right, we got a minute. Let's see if we can find anything about roads. Suffix Africat. Facts. Straight ahead. Oh, it's to the right. Why would it be straight ahead going north? We got to be somewhere down here. Jim Barrows. Oh my God. That's pretty good. 11 miles. There's Trapsa. Howdy, Jim. Feel free to tag Matt. Also be nice to your waiter. Pick up after you get out. Yes. Let's see. I'd like to know if that's the kind of psychopath like Joe in that show. Someone who honestly believes he's doing right, but yeah, I don't know the show. Any advice for navigating a split household where my child's mother is a diehard Christian and her family is trying to indoctrinate our 6-year-old child? Yeah, I don't have kids, but what I will say is you got to make sure that you and your child's mother are in agreement about what is and isn't permissible. And the best thing that you can do is just be open with your kid. Let them know you're always there to answer questions. Not try to push them into a particular belief, but talk openly and honestly when you answer questions. There's going to be indoctrination. And that indoctrination is going to lead to that kid asking questions about why you do or don't believe. And so just be ready to answer them honestly. Matt, are you planning to watch the Obi-Wan show in May? Not sure if you cared about Star Wars or not. I do and I don't. I mean, I watched I think the first season of The Mandalorian, part of the Boba Fett one, and I liked them. I just didn't keep up with them, and so I'm not currently planning to watch the Obi-Wan thing. But I don't have any opposition to it. It's just not as big a fan as I am of other things. If you like Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, they have a new horror comedy movie out called Studio 666. It's good. I might check it out. We watched The Adam Project the other night, and while it's a, family kids thing, we really liked it. There's some electromagnetic bullshit at some point, but, you set that aside. Tell her God is a fairy tale or make-believe. It's obviously causing tension with her mother. Well, how do you prove that God is a fairy tale or that God is make-believe? Don't get me wrong. I agree with you, but you're now adopting a burden of proof saying God is just pretend, which I even have a t-shirt that says God is just pretend. But if you're not able to actually make that case and to make it to a 6-year-old, I think it's a mistake to make that positive case and instead teach the kid how to question. Like, how do we tell which religion is real? How do we tell whether or not God's real? How do we tell the difference between, dinosaurs who used to exist and don't exist now and gods or, fairy tales to get inspire the curiosity and the sense of discovery rather than just being God's just pretend. You won't get as far that way. Do I watch You on Netflix? Never heard of it. Till just now. Jenny tried, but it's her way or the highway. I feel I haven't been pushy, but also don't want to go further. Thank you for your response. No problem. Speaking of shows, what's the top of your streaming queue these days? I'm actually Arden's got me walking through Attack on Titan from the beginning, so we're almost done with season 1. And it's okay. It's a little murky, I guess, at this point in season 1. What else are we watching? I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff we got to catch up on. obviously I'm going to have to catch up and get ready for Stranger Things and The Boys season 3 when I don't think we've watched season 2. And I end up just watching a lot of YouTube stuff. How do you feel about F1 racing? I couldn't possibly care less about F1 racing. I have zero interest. Didn't even know that there was a race coming up on Sunday. So there we go. Round 5. That's a lot of little motorcycles. Feels very Philippines, Indonesia, but well, I can't. It's not letting me get to where I can actually read a useful sign right now. Yeah, that looks like it could be Thai. That's some Asian shit. Seems like a rather shitty way to phrase that. Yep, it's Vietnam, but I don't know where. I was looking for like the city thing. As an atheist, how do I figure out whether I prefer to be with a partner that's an atheist or not? I can't tell you how to figure out your life. I mean, what you asked is kind of like saying, as an atheist, how do I determine whether I like blondes, brunettes, redheads, or bald people? Could be Cambodia or Laos. I'll split the difference, but I mean, I don't think Vietnam has Street View, but this doesn't look like Cambodia to me. I don't think I've ever been in Vietnam in Street View, so it's really hard to tell. It's definitely Vietnam, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know where to drop. I know it says, I already saw the Vietnam several times and the top level domain of VN. I know that. I just don't know how to, like, literally as many times I played this, I have never, yeah, I should have, I mean, Ho Chi Minh City's where I dropped to begin with, and I was like, nah, let's go with Hanoi and play the odds. Yeah, don't know. All right. That was not very good, but we're going to try it again just for funsies. This looks like Japan. It may not be. You're welcome, I like pie. You should be happy that I didn't pick a worse song to get stuck in your head. Yeah, I think this is...
Hello. Not hitting a critical point this time now, I hope.
Nothing critical at all, other than I got 2 minutes left to figure out where in Japan I am. How you doing, Melly? I might be playing some chat. I really don't know. Arden is on her way back, I would imagine. And when she gets here, we got other stuff to do, so I'll probably end the stream. Or maybe, like, I have no street signs that are really useful. And so heading west, we've got mountains, but I can't. We're in a valley. Well, I picked the wrong valley, but you're probably on an island. Well played. That critical message spooked me. I thought it was my computer. Thanks for the tier 1 sub, though. What are your thoughts on the U.S. getting rid of daylight saving time? I've been in favor of getting rid of daylight saving time for ages. So hopefully they just go ahead and pass it. You wanted to give me a hint that I was on Earth, but you knew the rule about no backseating, so you decided not to? That's pretty smart. You don't like that we're permanently in daylight saving time. I don't care if they make it permanent or get rid of it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care how much daylight there is relative to the clock because I don't live my life relative to a clock. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have to meet people, but most of the time I get to set the time for that. Brilliant Angels Academy. That seems like the sort of advertisement you'd see in Ghana. Or Nigeria, I suppose. We're going so slowly. Kenya. Yandaya. All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to get closer than that. Wow. 4.3 miles. I went with Oasis of Joy and picked that out, but That's pretty good. 4,981 points. Let's see. Thoughts on Ukraine? I think we should be helping them more, although I understand that virtually anything we do at this point forces World War III. But I have a hard time sitting by and watching a country be demolished for daring to be freer, I suppose.
Recovery still going well from surgery?
Next XP is me and Apostate Prophet. Yep. I was reading an article that one senator who would have opposed it wasn't told about the vote by his staff. Apparently he was grumpy when asked, but it's the law of the land now. So it's not. The Senate passed it. It was initiated in the Senate. It needs to go back to the House and then to the president. But since it was unanimous in the Senate, other than, the grumpy pants, I think it's going to happen. As next Muslim, I appreciate Matt Dillon and AP. Cool. Tune in. Just got the full moon with my telescope for the first time. It was awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. AP is awesome. I know he's on this week. Yep. What are your thoughts on NFTs? I barely understand them, and to the extent I understand them, I think it's absolute fucking bullshit. NFT stands for not fucking tenable. How'd you connect the dots between Brilliant Angels Academy and an African nation? These African nations are loaded down with those square advertisements for Christian ministries and schools. It's all over the place. It's really common to see. Recovery still going well from surgery. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Yeah, I'm doing well. Occasionally some breathing issues, but I did ride roller coasters at Universal. I rode the best roller coaster I've ever ridden, the Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. Now, granted, I rented a scooter, an electric scooter for the day because there's no way I could walk that many miles in, amusement parks, but I'd felt pretty good. And so I would ride the scooter around, and when it would come time to get in line, we'd get a wheelchair for the long lines. Well, on that one, we were asking for a wheelchair because the long line was 45 minutes long. And the guy gave us a wheelchair, but also just moved the chain out of the way, sent us directly to the elevator. We went up the elevator and basically were moved to the front of the line and put in the front seat on Velocicoaster. And I hadn't looked it up. I didn't know anything about it, but it had just a lap seat thing that came down on your legs. And so I looked at Arden and I was like, oh, I guess this doesn't go upside down, because I thought anything that went upside down had to have like the full shoulder harness and not just a lap thing. Turns out, man, it goes upside down. It stays upside down. It's the best fucking roller coaster I've ever been on. And it's absolutely terrifying to be sitting there with just a lap thing and your legs dangling and hanging upside down from your, it's just wild. It's a really good coaster. We are Russians against Putin, so it's Russians' war, not Putin's war. Yeah, I've heard from quite a few Russians who are not fond of this. First time watching you on Twitch, love from Namibia. Well, we'll see if maybe I get to... Oh, I don't think Namibia has Street View. I don't think Namibia has Street View, so I don't think I'll end up in your country. Best roller coaster I've been on the Superman Six Flags New England. Kissimmee. Well, yeah, Universal Orlando. Poison and Dagger says Brazil. Were you saying that while I was still in Kenya when we knew it was in Kenya? Hulk in Orlando. The Hulk is Arden like that second best, And I liked it third best. I think I liked Hagrid's motorcycle thing slightly better than the Hulk, although it's really a close call. You could have them tied, in my opinion. But we weren't stopped upside down, but there's a spot where it rolls upside down and continues straight upside down and then rolls back. But best roller coaster I went on in Orlando was a Rip Ride Rocket. I love that roller coaster. We did not ride it this time. We went into Islands of Adventure first, did all of Islands Adventure, then rode the Hogwarts Express over to Universal and did the back part of Universal and then left for the day, and we were done. But I've ridden Rip Ride before. It's great. Here we go, round 3. Okay, the flag's hanging out. This makes me think Cambodia? Oh, no, Indonesia. We are somewhere in Indonesia. Their flag is identical to Poland, that red over white. Ever go to Six Flags of Valencia? No, I had a season pass to Six Flags St. Louis when I lived there and was a teenager growing up. So there's Palanca Raya, which is that. Doesn't mean we're there. That could just be where the headquarters is for this internet subscription, but we're going kind of north. Roller coasters have an intensity rating from 1 to 5. See, and I wonder, I'd be interested to know what their criteria is to determine that rating, because, like, I will say that both Hulk and Velocicoaster were really smooth, although the people at the park seemed to think that Hulk was rough and Velocicoaster was smooth. I thought they were both smooth. Um, I'm wondering how you rate intensity. There's got to be a mix of, I think you couldn't do much more than strap a heart rate monitor on people and do with the average. Because there's some things that I wouldn't do. There's like a roller coaster at the top of a skyscraper or a hotel in Vegas, and I wouldn't ride that. 4778. It may have something to do with G's. It may have to do with prolonged G's. But people are going to have different experiences of what they find intense. Like you move any roller coaster that I love to the top of a hotel in Vegas, and there's no fucking way I'm getting on it. There's an extra layer of intensity there that has to do with heights. As an American ex-military, don't you feel that having a Nazi flag should be considered treason? Or I'm way off. Here in Brazil, having any sorts of Nazi iconography is a crime. No, I don't feel that having a Nazi flag should be considered treason, nor do I think it should necessarily be considered a crime. It's it's a piece of cloth, and until that piece of cloth is used in such a way that it's actually causing a problem, like if you hung your Nazi flag out in front of your, Jewish neighbors or whatever, I could see where there might be some sort of, disturbing the peace type of thing, but simply owning a Nazi flag shouldn't be considered treason. And at what point would you think it should stop? Well, it's definitely not. It is not treason. But if you want to think it's a crime, at what point should it stop being a crime? Like if I have money from some ancient civilization that doesn't exist anymore, but that, well, actually, what if I'm flying a Union Jack, the country that tried to take over the world and annexed and co-opted everything? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not equating what the UK did to what Nazis did, but no, I don't think just owning a piece of cloth. I don't even think owning a Confederate flag should be considered treason, and that's the only one that would be treason against the U.S. government. I'd go on any roller coaster. I want to go skydiving, but I draw the line at bungee jumping. That's so weird because while I have no interest in bungee jumping or skydiving, I'd probably bungee jump before I skydive. Have I ever visited Amsterdam? No, I have not. I'd like to someday, but here we go. Round 4. This looks like Japan again too, but is it South Korea again? No. No, it's not. I think Julie is correct. 052. Remax Visions. So we got a hill out there. A Durham Street, and we appear to be on the east side. Wow, somebody planted some grassy grass there and got it to grow and stay green. That's costing them some money and water and fertilizer for sure. Eight miles. All right. I didn't know. Wow, that's the first breathing thing I've had in a couple days. MC Tommy K. I didn't know this game existed. Very interesting. I like it. On behalf of my Muslim family, let me start hating Jews. Just kidding. Let's just avoid the kidding like that. Visit Netherlands back in the 60s, saw a lot of water. Cute little miniature city that someone had built. Dark Dirt probably knows the name of it now. It's Muslim inside joke. Well, keep it inside because it's not welcome here. As Bobo, anytime anybody has to spend this much time explaining the context to everybody else, they fucked up. Just acknowledge that you fucked up and move on. Even Uncle Roger would tell you, you fucked up. But we can keep going. All right. So Japan, although last time I saw this was Taiwan. Nah, this is Japan. Well, that wasn't great. 21,530. Put me back at this screen. And wildly, there we go. I'm not going to play much because I think I just heard Arden get back. But let's end the stream by playing some chess. If you want to challenge me, I'm at chess.com. Name's Matt_Dillahunty. As long as it is bullet or blitz, which means 3 minutes or less, I'm happy to play. I don't care if it's rated or not. See you later, Skeptical X. Melly is tired and a bit drunk. Wow. That's the only way I have a chance against you. Arden's definitely home. Hang on, I got loads of time. I've got to restart Horizon Forbidden West because Arden got a PS5, and I'd rather play it in 4K on the PS5. Whoops. Well, I make lots of bold moves because I'm dumb. Yep. I just got so obsessed with take the rook that I just completely missed rook a1, which, yeah, it's mate in two odd because the rook on c3 is going to go back to c1 to block for, one move, but that's it. But yeah, I missed it. Hello there.
Hello.
I'm live streaming.
You're live streaming. Oh my goodness.
How are you?
Very red,
Yeah, you are very red.
but that's okay. It'll get better.
Was it good appointment stuff?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Just try to say hi. I will not be perceived right now.
Yeah, they can hear you. And I already knew you were coming back, so I told them I was going to play chess for a little bit and then end the stream.
Oh, you can play.
Unless you're ready to start some dailies.
Yeah. I need to get something to eat, so keep playing for a little
All right, I'll plug in my headphones and I will play chess until you're ready for Fortnite. I won't repeat that for chat since you hurt me, and it would be treating you like idiots if I were to repeat the thing you just heard me say. Oh, we got another challenge from Ellie. Nobody else wanted a challenge. All right. I'm not used to playing with 3 minutes on my clock. Wow. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, there's a question. She says, former Mormon, I got into it with a Twitter Mormon about morality. What do you make of the whose well-being comes first, the group or the individual argument? Yeah, it's a complex question, and it's most of what we're actually trying to suss out most of the time. There's no easy answer. Pretending there is just, you know, it is, each situation is going to be different. Good game. All right. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to dig into that. Well, what's the situation and whose well-being? Generally, I think that the individual's well-being is tied to the groups, so it's not an either or, and is rarely anything close to like a zero-sum game. But yeah, you have to do a lot more work than just saying, well, you can't answer this question, because that objection from a theist who's arguing for theistic moral, they can't answer that question either. They can't even say, is God looking out for individuals and playing favorites or the group? It's not like they have any solution to any of the problems that are posed against secular ethics. Johan Smith, the pharmacist, how you doing? I'm doing good. Later, gonna go have a nap. It was a long day at work. Get some rest. Holly, man. I find that I'm napping a whole lot more after the surgery. I used to never be able to nap, and now it's like every fucking morning I wind up falling asleep in my recliner for a mid-morning nap. But granted, I haven't been sleeping great at night, so trying to convince the Mormon to call in and discuss it. Happy to have that discussion. What's the weirdest dream you've ever had? I have no idea. I don't tend to remember my dreams most of the time. Lately, I've been having occasional nightmares, so I remember them, but they're not particularly weird. Wow, I lost on time. That's what happens when I play fucking stupid 3-minute games. All of a sudden, I'm out of time for my 1-minute games. Working farming when I milk in the morning. I always take a nap after I milk the cows. You look really healthy. I'm glad that you're healthier now. Thanks. I feel okay. Really? Shit. That just loses. Bishop takes bishop, just fucking loses. All right, well, there's one I won on time. They have more potential to contribute to it than the elderly. Okay.
Ready, whatever.
Give me just. I'll finish this game, then I'll switch over.
Okey-dokes.
You gonna stream?
No.
Okay. Damn it. There I go again, losing on time. All right. Let me go back to that. All right. Let me get Fortnite launched.